Λοιπόν, καλησπέρα σε όλους. Εδώ είμαστε στο Swing Istanbul Bluntly Series. Τι γίνεται, όλα καλά?
Όλα καλά.
Ναι. Θα κάνουμε αυτό το πρόγραμμα στα ελληνικά και
δεν θα καταλάβει κανείς τίποτα.
Στην ουσία, αλλά τι να κάνουμε. Ελπίζω ότι θα υπάρχει κάποιοι Έλληνες εδώ για να καταλαβαίνει αυτό το πρόγραμμα, αλλά να το δούμε. Okay, I think we should maybe go to English so some of the people can also understand, but I would have definitely loved to do this interview in Greek, although I think not so many Turkish people know that much Greek. So,
good practice for you.
Yes. So how is Athens? How are you? And how is it going on with the corona, everything?
Vassia, you start.
Okay. It seems that the situation is stable now, and I mean we will open on Monday, and things are coming closer to normal. So it's been it seems that during the last 2 months the situation has become quite stable. So we're happy we are able to open the school on Monday. But even so, I mean, there are many restrictions and many regulations, so we cannot work as we did before. But even so, it's really nice to see our students again.
Yeah, definitely.
We aren't allowed to partner dance. We have to keep some social distancing of 2 meters between among students during classes. And a lot of disinfectant during and after. So
actually this is a really hot topic for us, maybe because you're ahead of us right now with the opening of the studio. I think this is a very good news for us also, at least. Like how are you gonna do it? Like what is your approach when you're like, so you will start the classes already on Monday?
We're going to have less students in every class than before, so that we make sure that we have 2 meters of distance between students. And we will keep the Lindy Hop classes, but we will teach them things that they can do solo. So we won't couple up, but we think it's an opportunity to work on other things, you know, like music and rhythms and footwork. So I mean movement. So we think we have many ideas about how we can make it work. However, I don't know how long people can wait until they dance together again. I mean, people, you know, I mean, we're not in a quarantine anymore, so people basically are allowed to dance together, but as a school we're not allowed to teach couple dance in the class. So maybe our students can, you know, practice like in teams of 2, 4, 6 people. So yeah, maybe that will keep the dance alive.
Yes,
but
so
for sure, no
that
parties.
means like no social dance for the time being. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Yeah, we'll come to that also further in the conversation. But like, so okay, that's really good news also, hopefully for us, because I think we'll be able to start like at the end of June, something like that, or beginning of July. But we're gonna see. We still have some things to cover in Turkey, I guess. Okay, I'd like to start like actually with how you discovered Lindy Hop, and how did you decide to make it as a professional career in your life. So maybe let's start with you, Vasya.
Oh, me again.
Yes.
Well, I think it was quite random, really. A friend just recommended that, and you know, let's go to these classes. And by the time, I actually didn't even know what the dance was about, and I guess I like jazz, but I didn't like know so much about jazz. So like it was really random, and of course then I really, you know, liked it, and then, you know, and this happened. And but it was never, I don't think it was ever like a moment where I decided to do this as a profession. I think it came like somehow quite naturally. It happened quite naturally, but I didn't plan it. I think it was just like at some point we made a practice group, and we practiced at the studio, and then because it was, I think the idea was that we would practice like a team of 10 people, and every time someone will you know, like lead the class, let's say, and so a new material. But somehow it was only me and Augustine teaching everybody else. I guess we were the more excited ones about the dance, and then the people, the owners of the studio, asked us to teach, and then we said okay. But we, you know, it was not a conscious decision. It was maybe a conscious decision when I decided to do it as a full-time job.
Okay.
But yeah, it just happened, I guess.
So, Avgoustinos, did you start together with Vasya at the same time, or?
A bit later. I think 1 or 2 months after Vasya.
Oh, okay.
He was a beginner. I was advanced, you know.
Oh.
He's a senior
2
dancer.
months.
Yes,
I think it was
difference.
3 months.
But when we started, the scene was very, very young, very young.
Yeah.
So 2 months of difference, it was like, you know.
That's true, yeah. But which year was that?
2010.
10,
I think.
Okay. Yeah.
No, it was 2009. I started it. But you started in January.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you
more than 3 months. More than 3 months.
For me, my start was a bit different. I also didn't know what jazz is, what jazz music is. I still don't know what jazz music is. I tried to figure it out. But I think I was at a jazz concert, definitely not swing. And with a friend, and I was patting my foot on the music. I was like, pap, pap, pap, pap. And I was like, hey, I really think we can dance this music. And so really interesting music, you know. And I think we can dance it, and we should go and start classes. And he said, yeah, let's do it. And the first thing I did when I went home was starting Googling what, you know, jazz dance, and I was finding videos of only this modern jazz thing, and I was like,
oh no, yeah, that's true.
No. After a few clips, I finally found this fast swing dancing, and I saw it.
2006 ULHS probably, or
yeah, that was probably the first video I saw, and I went crazy. I was like, I want this. I want to be able to do this. I still can't.
Yeah,
I'm trying, and I googled for Athens, and there was one school back then only.
There were two schools.
There were two schools. One was more in social media, so it was easier to find them.
Yeah,
that's how we started. I mean, and yeah, I still remember the day.
Yeah.
It was like 23rd of January, guys. It was a Saturday.
Great. Yeah.
I don't remember the day. I don't remember the day.
I remember the day.
Yeah.
In the morning we had a class. We just learned the basic, and then we had the party in the night. And
you've been to the party?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's great, because many like beginners, okay, I'm gonna learn like 6 months more and then come back to the party. Then like, I think that's the attitude.
But Hakan, funny story is that Avgoustinos was so embarrassed to go to the party alone that he took his sister with him, who hadn't taken the class, but she's a salsa dancer. So he didn't want to go alone.
Okay. Yeah. I can understand that, but.
But and I abandoned her actually, because I met my classmates that I met that day, and I had never danced before, and I didn't stop dance for 3 or 4 hours, and I was just doing the basic, the basic,
great.
all night, and with a smile up to my ears, like it was the best dance ever. Yeah.
But like, as you said, like back at the time, I knew that only like Thessaloniki has Lindy Hop, but I wasn't aware that like there was like a big scene, or maybe not a big scene, but like I knew a couple of people from Athens, but that was it. So how did it all of a sudden become so big in Athens, especially?
It kind of became a trend. I mean, in the beginning, it was really hard, even knowing about this dance. But I think the schools kind of started giving some publicity to the dance by going dances to squares, squares, or doing weekly parties. Because in the beginning we didn't even have weekly parties. We just had one party every other week, which was crazy. And maybe in the whole thing, also our recession contributed.
Yeah.
Because 2010 to 2012 is when the whole recession thing happened in Greece. And I think that people really needed a way to, relieve their stress, forget everyday problems, and just go out and have fun.
So it's like the Great Depression years.
They could have contributed a bit, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know about the recession, to be honest. People say that, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if it is really related. I mean, I'm not sure if the dance like came before to Greece, or maybe I don't know. But I guess somehow like the growth of Lindy Hop in Athens and in Greece in general happened at the same time with the growth of the dance in the whole Europe. And like, I mean, the way I feel about it, like, I think it's such a great thing. So, like if there are two dancers, then more, and the people see them, they're going to be more and more and more. And it's just so great to be part of that. And of course, more people are going to come in. But I don't know if it's about the recession, but I think it's a social thing, and it fits very well to the Greek like mentality, like I don't know, like people are very social, they like dancing. Jazz is not in our culture, but still like the way, like the whole experience, I think it's very close to our culture.
But do you dance Zeybekiko or Sirtaki? No, nothing.
We're an embarrassment when it comes to Greek dances.
Yeah. Embarrassment for our nation.
Okay, so I was actually playing Theodorakis, like Zorbas, but I didn't see. I expected Avgoustinos to stand up and dance, like that, but
I recognize the tune. I recognize the tune.
You recognize it. That's a good start, actually.
I knew it was Greek.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I can move my body to anything other than swing.
Swing. Okay. Yeah, it's
The
fair enough.
outcome is just something weird.
Yeah. But okay. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed, but I don't know.
Sorry for destroying the picture.
So I'd like to ask you guys, like, so how was your approach? Like, since you're only dancing Lindy Hop, I guess. And have you danced anything before? Like any other kind of dance before?
I've done a few things, but I've never been like I did ballet. I did some martial arts.
Okay.
I did a few things. Like I've tried salsa, but I haven't spent so much time on anything else. Like this is the only dance that I have danced maybe for that long.
Yeah. And you, Avgoustinos?
No. Lindy was my first dancing, actually. Yeah, my first dancing ever.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing close dancing.
So Nazlı kind of interferes and says that I don't dance halay, which is a kind of Turkish sirtaki, but I do. I definitely do, and I can improvise also. I can tend to pretend to dance to it, even, like. Okay.
Yeah.
So like how did you like practice in the beginning, or like after actually a certain level in dancing, and what would you recommend to the advanced dancers who would like to improve themselves more?
That's in the beginning.
Well, so I think he said how we practice now, right? Like after
like before, like at the beginning, like of your journey, let's say, okay, after a certain level, but not beginner, but like after like you became an advanced dancer, how did you keep on practicing, and what resource did you go to practice more?
I think it's I mean, we talk about like Lindy Hop and solo jazz. I think I think if you want to be advanced at Lindy Hop, there is no way you cannot do both, in my opinion. But I think it's very deep. Like you can go very deep and think about it as a dance, but also like as part of a whole. Because for me, like I think that if you want to advance at this, you have to think about how can you understand the music better, how can you know more about jazz, about the musicians, about how they played, about the songs. And then like there are so many aspects, and then there is the body movement. How flexible are you, how strong are you, how good is your cardio, can you do fast swing outs, like, so there are also this physical part, and then it's like, then where do you take your inspiration from? Like old videos, I don't know, some people like more modern dances, but in any case, like just to have material to be inspired by, or copy, like it's good to have a routine, like to practice. So I guess thinking like that, like for me, I started tap dance like 3 years after I started dancing, and at the time for me it was something extremely hard. But then, you know, after all these years, I realized, I realize every day that it really gives so much, you know, like if you think about, you know, improving at other things other than, you know, the dance itself, to see the dance as part of a whole, you know, like you have to be a good dancer and you have to be able to hear the music and you know, work with the music. And I think this is how I see it until today, I guess. Like I'm trying to improve in all these things, and I know that at each moment, like if I improve at one of these things, I feel that my dancing becomes better. And of course dancing helps too, you know. dancing really helps improve, but I mean, you know, like we do that anyway.
So like you kind of focus in every aspect like equally, or at one point you like just practice only one part for a certain amount of time, or just do everything at the same time?
I think like recognizing different things that you want to excel at, I think gives you the possibility, you know, like, you know, if one day you don't feel good with your improvisation because you're not like inspired, you know, like in that case I would be like, okay, maybe I should just you know, like practice on my rhythms, and maybe I should do tap, maybe I should work on an exercise, or maybe I should you know, do copy like a choreo from an old video, like do something that does not that I don't need to be creative, do something that you know, that does not demand for me to be creative. So if you think about it like that, there are so many ways to get inspiration, and when you go back to dancing itself, I think, you know, for me, like I feel that I have something new, you know, but I think you really need to see it like that if you want to improve. Otherwise, because you know, every time, like as a dancer, I feel like we all have our down periods where we're like, oh, I'm so bad and I don't get any better, and like if you fall there, you really need something to lift you up, and I think it's good if you try different things like that.
And for you, Avgoustinos, how did it evolve, like practicing and trying to improve yourself?
In the beginning, it was only social dancing, I think. So just try to go out. So it was a combination of fun and practice. Then when we started seeing things a bit more seriously, we would make actually practice sessions where we would focus on some things. Of course, a lot of we would practice. I remember a lot of material from workshops, from international workshops, from big teachers. And now, actually, the last 2 years, I haven't really practiced a lot because I had a back pain. And it never really got better, no matter what I did. So, but now it's gone miraculously through Corona, and I finally feel good again. So I'll see how this will go. But yeah, I never had the chance to do the tap thing. I mean, I started at some point, but it needs a lot of commitment, and I think it's really hard for me to focus that much on it's like an instrument actually.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, like Vassia said, I mean, sometimes we focus on some aspects of our dancing, and we try to, because you know, out of our practice, we also get material for our classes.
So how do you actually choose your materials? I'm actually also very interested about that. Like okay, do you have like fixed curriculum, or do you fix it according to your classes and how they react, or how is it like?
So the idea was to have a fixed curriculum, but it doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't work because we change. We also develop as teachers.
Yes.
So every year we decide that something has to change to make it a bit different, a bit better, or to give a better orientation to our students. So yeah, we of course we do the basic. We have some basic moves or some basic material we do, but method changes sometimes. The order changes a lot of times.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. And of course, there is a lot of fighting. A lot of fighting.
I mean, we do have like a curriculum, like for the first 1.5, 2 years. Like, I mean, of course, we barely change like what we teach in the beginning, but sometimes we try to mix it up, even for the beginners, so that we're not. It's mostly for us, It's like you don't want to do the same class again. You want to do something different. And and as Augustine said, like after like 1 year and a half, 2, we always change the material. Like I feel the same as
you
he
keep
said,
on
like
talking for about a minute or two, and the prayer goes, and I come back.
Okay.
Yes, I hear you.
Vassia, you keep talking. You keep talking.
I keep talking. Okay, it's me. Okay. So I mean, I think it's good to change the material because then I feel that it's good to teach what you practice at a certain time, and changing what you think about the dance every time. I think it's something very healthy, which that means that you're actually evolving as a dancer, and you learn more, you see things in a different way. So I think it's very healthy, and it's also like quite more exciting to teach something different every year, because I think it's, I don't know, I somehow feel it's more true. Like I wouldn't be able to teach something that I was connected to last year, but this year I'm doing something completely different. And I think like through practice, like you always have something new. And it's good to share. It's good to share with your students what you work on.
And do you follow trends in the like Lindy Hop world, or or don't you actually just how is your approach for the trends happening?
Oh wow, that's a great question, Hakan. I have I don't know, like I mean, if there are trends that you like, I guess yes. But mostly, I mean, I really like watching the old clips. I really like what they did. And I think there is a way for us to discover something new, and that's very good and healthy. But so I feel like for myself, if I talk about myself, I feel like I like sometimes if I see something that is trending, but also at the same time, sometimes I feel like, if someone does something that I like, then, like maybe it's very connected to this dancer. Yeah. So I don't, like I feel like it's good for each one of us to try to be creative and find our own thing. And doing it the hard way, not just copying a modern dancer, but just learning about the music, the movement, like seeing old clips and trying to figure out where all this thing comes from, or even, even taking part of like another dance and incorporate it in our dance and finding a way to jazz it up. That's also quite cool, like if you can do it. But, I'm towards that direction more, finding your own way.
But of course, you just told us that you have a lot of fights, like during maybe choosing materials and everything. So actually, like how do you find the balance between like each other? or don't you find any balance?
We're very civilized. We're very civilized. No. We are civilized.
Yeah.
It starts by an escalation of voice loudness.
Uh-huh.
We never get physical, but
No.
yeah, the loudness can go up to very high decibels, and then we just go home, turn it off, and meet another day. But I mean, we had a lot more fights in the beginning.
Yes.
We had a lot more fights in the beginning. It was way harder in the beginning because we were also trying to find, I don't know, ourselves in this or what we want, and we also didn't know what works and what not. And now we kind of, I think we kind of have a good balance because we have our own personal approach to dance, and we kind of find it in the way, or sometimes we give a bit more space to the other role, or I don't know. It's working way better than the beginning. So, but in the beginning it was crazy.
Yeah.
But do you think that a couple, like partners in the couple, they should actually think the same way all the time, like technique-wise or teaching material, or any aspect of dancing? Do they need to teach the same way, or do you think they can actually think differently from each other?
Well, I think it's interesting to have different opinions. Really, at the end of the day, I think like one of the strongest things that we have when we teach together is the fact that we're so different. So I think it's more interesting to see, two people having different approaches at the same time. And it's good when you find the balance. Like, for example, Avgoustinos is like completely all over the place, like not checking the clock in class, saying jokes that last for 10 minutes. And I am the one who's like, or like being like, but we don't have time for that. So but I think if we both had this role, it wouldn't be, I don't know, it wouldn't be so interesting maybe. Or I don't know, like somehow we have both found a balance, and we found our own like role in the partnership to make it work. And I really feel like out of the contrasts, there is always something interesting that comes out. And I think it's funny. I think that in the beginning we knew a lot less than we know now about the dance, but somehow we thought we knew more. So we were so stubborn. But I think like now, like even if we know a lot more, like we know that we might be wrong, like so it's good to give space to the other person, because sometimes like you hear an idea and you're like, no, this is not going to work. And then when sometimes you realize you're wrong, like the next time you're like, okay, maybe we can try it. So we're learning.
Also in the beginning, we were also taught like this, that this is right, this is wrong. Yeah. So we were really strongly opinionated to what is right and what is wrong. And some things were right for me or not for Vassia, or the other way around. Now I think we're open to this right or wrong statement. I mean, we're more to if it works for you, if it feels okay, do it. And I think we changed during the whole process, Vassia, right? I think that's why.
Yeah, we change as people also, not only as dancers. But it's like I don't know, like sometimes it's very funny because you realize that all couples fight, like even the couples that you see and they seem so aligned and they're so calm, like as people, and then you see them practice and they fight, and then you realize like like everybody's fighting.
Yeah, we Greeks, why not?
We are the masters of it. Come on.
But do you think that it's also like maybe the environment was like that at the beginning of 2010s? Like, oh, this is right and this is wrong, and I should lead 100% and you should follow 100%. Do you think that this was also the cause of why you were so strongly opinionated about some, aspects of dancing?
I think it was more like, I don't feel this move, or like, oh, I did it with a teacher and he did it differently, like, or I can do it with everybody else but you. It's like, it was that kind of thing. I don't know if I ever okay, I think maybe there was a period that I went to my first Hirang, and after that that was the year that I think maybe I was exposed to more like let's say Swedish dancers, because when we started dancing, we took classes mostly from French instructors.
Yes.
So I think at the point where I start taking classes with like different instructors, or like instructors that dance a little bit differently, and then Augustin hadn't taken so many of those classes. Maybe there was a period there that we had you lead too much, but yes. I think quite soon that changed. I don't think we had this problem so much, to be honest.
Great. So Hande says that that she remembers you practicing in her living room during the last Orient Express, and you were so energetic and tuned with each other. So I think you were not fighting because you were guests.
It's getting there. It's getting there. 10 more years, Hakan, again, we're there. 10 more years.
Yeah. So Kunar has a question. How many teachers and students do you have in your school, approximately, if you have an idea?
It's always very,
It's 5. It's very easy. We're 5. So 2 leaders and 3 followers.
You mean about the teachers? Yeah.
And students? Yeah. How many students are there?
Students.
I mean, before Corona.
Around 300, maybe.
Yeah.
Around, yeah.
Around 300.
But it's like, I think that.
It's like, yeah. Whenever we have new beginners registrations, the number goes high, but it drops off very, very fast.
Yeah.
I would say on an average, we have around 250 students per year for the last years.
Yeah. I see. So I would like to actually go back to the Savoy Cup 2018. Was that? When was that? Yeah. I think most of the Turkish dancers got to know the Greek dancers through the Lindy chorus line. So it was really great. Like I still watch that video against Stockholm. They crushed us, but anyway, it was so nice. Like that you guys joined in, and it was a great moment. So how did you, Vassia, just decide to create Lindy chorus line, and also the chorus, not Lindy chorus line, and then how is the process of making a new choreo? Because also you're a lot of people in the group. How do you arrange the practice hours, and how can you be so effective?
Well, first of all, it was really great to be part of the Turkish part in the competition for the city battle. I think it was one of the highlights of the event, because I think that everybody felt so jealous of watching the city battle. So when we had the chance to do a small part for you guys, I think everybody was like, yes, we really want to, and it was really great. It was really great. You guys were really unlucky. It's just like having Sweden from the first round.
Yeah.
Opposite you. So yeah, about the chorus line, I think it was 2015 when it was my first year that I joined the Herang Dance Camp chorus line of Marie and Di. And then when I came back to Greece, I had the idea to create my own chorus line, because I really had a great 4 weeks in Herang, and I had all this like knowledge, and I mean I was exposed to all this jazz and the steps and everything, and I really liked performing there, so I really wanted to make something like that in Athens. So we started in 2015, and then we worked together, and for many years, I think it was 3 years until Savoy Cup. And I think when we started, we only did routines from old clips and some of Marie's choreographies. And the choreo I did for Savoy Cup 2018 was, I think it was my first choreography for the group.
Really?
It was my for a chorus line, at least. Like, because before,
I remember, or is it maybe afterwards? Because I remember more choreos.
But everything, I think most of them were original routines. So we were the routines from all clips that maybe, you know, I changed a little bit the formations and I added something, but like the core of the routine was copied from all clips. Okay. So I hadn't done like a routine from the scratch for the chorus line before. That was my first time, because I was so intimidated. And anyway, so yeah, that was the first year that we did it. And I think like the group, since the beginning, we worked quite a lot. But the first year we went to Savoy Cup, I mean, it was hard. It was hard to find time that everybody could make it. Yes. Especially because I, it's, like sometimes you just, put down all the dates and you're like, oh, I cannot, like, there's at least one person who cannot make it, I think we had a certain day per week that we would all meet. Yes. And I think even for the weeks that we only had one day per week, we tried to do long practices. Okay. So sometimes we might have stayed even for 4 hours at the studio, with a small break. So yeah. And then what was the other question? How do you make?
No, like how do you actually? How is the process of making a new choreo for you?
I mean, do you mean a chorus line choreo?
Yeah.
For the it's a different process from doing any other choreo, I might say. I think because there are many people and many formations most of the time. I think like once I find the song that I like, it's very important for me. Like once I find a song, I more or less know what I want to do. If I like the song, then I feel very confident. But I think there are two different ways, more or less. So one is to think about the steps, and one is to think about the formations. Yes. Like making, the choreo, thinking about formations. But sometimes like I have made the whole routine that I didn't even think about the formations before. And I just made this, the steps and everything, and then the formations happen. So yeah, there are different ways.
We're waiting for the chorus line to Istanbul for the next year. It didn't happen the last time, but hopefully if we can do it this time, maybe like this September 10th to 13th. So that's an open invitation.
Yeah, I mean, the girls really wanted to come last time, but I don't know, maybe next time we will be more organized. Yeah, I really hope we do come. Yeah.
Of course, so do you have in mind to create a gentleman's group like this?
Very nice question, Haka.
Yes.
Yes. Of course, there are some requirements I need to fulfill. First, I need to learn how to solo dance.
Yeah.
And then I need to feel comfortable to solo dance. Because even though it's the same dance, it's actually not the same dance. And I really, for me, it's very hard dancing solo. I really feel like I'm very exposed. I'm like dancing naked. So
Okay.
it's so different to partner dance, where you're sharing the experience with someone else, and solo is like, yeah, it's crazy. So I'm really fighting this now. I'm trying to fight it and try to expose myself even more to this dangerous thing. And
come on, Hakan. Every year, the guys in the team, they're like, we're gonna make our own chorus line. We're gonna make it, and they do nothing. Like you say it every year.
But the thing is that I don't think we're so committed as the girls, or I don't think I am so committed as Vassia to manage to organize everybody and to really push them to something like that. Because yeah. So I don't really see an Avgoustinos gentleman's solo group very near in the future.
Yeah. Ilber, one of our dancers, says heartbreakers are ready to help. Like it's the like the Turkey's guys, like Turkey's guys, how do you call it? Like gentlemen's group. So I don't know, maybe they want to help out.
Oh, nice.
So
heartbreakers.
so like there was a question, but I think it was taken back. Anyway, so unfortunately, this year the Athens Rhythm Hop didn't happen. We were like looking so much forward to it, and also like thank you very much, guys, because like a lot of Turkish dancers were admitted as like volunteers, and like a lot, I think, I don't know, more than 60-70 people got registered, but we are very sorry about this. So when did you first start the Athens Rhythm Hop, and like how did it improve that quickly? And for us, actually, it's one of the most popular festivals in Europe, and many Turkish and Kurdish people go there a lot. So yeah, can you tell us about the Athens Rhythm Hop a little bit?
I go. So the first one, I think, was in 2017. That was the first year that we did the event. I think it was like a long due project for us, like it was like this, like the first time we ever travel abroad. It was like quite many years ago. So like basically the scene in Athens was really, really small. So when we went to a big festival and we came back to our city and our scene was like just like a group of 20 people, we were so deeply disappointed, like
and depressed.
And depressed. And I think that was the moment that everything started, because then we started talking about we should organize something here and like bring all these people here somehow and make the party happen in our city. And I think we were very like a bit scared maybe to do it like for like many years, and at some point like we just went for it. And I think we were so excited about it, and at the time I think it was a smaller event. Like the first year we had booked a smaller venue, so we didn't have a lot of capacity. Like we had restriction to the number of people that we wanted to have in the party. And so by the time we organized this, like our first edition, we knew many people from abroad. We had friends from abroad which had traveled so much. So the event was full booked, like in like a month maybe. So the first year was like, I really, it was like amazing to and you know, the first time you organize something like that, and you know, when it's the check-in, you know, the beginning of the registration, and you see your friends from all over the world coming to your city for something that you organize, I think this is one of the most valuable moment, like in the whole event. So I think like it was a success, like first because we organized it for us. You know, we wanted to have fun. We wanted to party hard, you know, to have the best dancers, like to bring all of this amazing energy, you know, like in our city, and have our students like experience that. I think maybe this is like the most important like thing why the event is successful. And the other thing is, I think that it's because I think the Greek dancers are very much welcoming. I think like as a scene, we don't have this like show off kind of like attitude. So you don't have those like people that maybe, you know, they're too ambitious or not many people competing, you know. I mean, we have more now, thank God, because you also need them. But I mean, most of those people are a lot about social dance and having fun. And so when the dancers, like the Greek dancers, so like their national dancers coming from abroad, they were so excited, you know? So they were like, and you know, I think that people got this, and it created a really nice energy at the event from the first year.
Yes, hopefully it'll be back again next March. So I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, we have planned to. We have planned to do it.
So will you keep the same teachers?
Yes, actually, yes. We will. Yeah, we will keep the same teachers because this
85% confirmed.
Okay.
We wanted the same lineup, but till now I think we have 85% confirmed.
Yeah, maybe there is only one that hasn't confirmed yet. But we have two more. We have two extra teachers, and hopefully we will be able to do
teachers the same, or
yes. That's the idea. That's the idea. We want to keep everything the same. You know, we want to have the opportunity to do this
I'm joking
year.
because I was also in the lineup, so
you know, we actually didn't want to have the same taste as teachers, especially you, I think. But with the airport tickets, we didn't get back. We just got vouchers, and we have to use the same name. So we're kind of forced. I think we really thank a lot you guys, all the Turks and the Bulgarians. They're a very big support for our festival. I mean, from the start, there's always a very big participation from you two guys. And I mean, Vassia covered me in almost everything. I mean, the main reason we started this was because we wanted to bring what we were experiencing in Europe mostly to Greece. We wanted to share this you know, that when you go out, and the craziness.
So
feel the same. I think it's very I mean, we really thank you guys for supporting the event every year. And we try to accept volunteers from, especially coming from abroad, because we know that people coming from abroad also need to pay their tickets to come to Athens. So I mean, like, I wish we didn't have to even charge for the event. You know, like I wish we could accept all volunteers. We're trying to accept all Turkish volunteers, and what we will do next year too.
Great. So then what makes a great festival for you? Like, because you're also organizers of a very nice festival. What is Avgoustinos for you, a great festival?
A great festival. Ooh. A great festival. Good vibe for sure. Good music. Music is very important.
Mm-hmm.
The venues are important.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but yeah, I think music is one of the most important assets for now. Of course, you need a good lineup of inspiring teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And a good scene. I mean, local scene is really important for a good festival. As Vasya said, it needs to be welcoming and warm, so that you present your scene to everybody and they like it, and maybe they come back.
Yeah.
It's not only an organizer skill. It's a lot of factors. You really
Yeah,
need
exactly. Yeah,
of this.
definitely. For you, Vasya?
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. I think the music is very important.
I
It's
think
not just
this is recorded. This is recorded. I think it's the first time that Vasya totally agrees. Totally.
Yeah.
So usually it's I
Yeah.
agree, but
But
no, you covered me. No, I agree with what Agostino said.
But what do you think about? I think last year was the first time that you were in Orientland Express, or
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
How did you like it?
The new tester teachers was amazing, especially this bald guy.
Yeah.
The venue was really nice. I mean, wow, wow. I would make some improvements with the sound, maybe
Yeah.
during the live. During the live, I don't know what, because I'm not a sound technician, but I would ask for help. And it was a busy schedule. We actually, we didn't have so much time to see Istanbul, which was
Yeah,
also my,
that's true.
which was also my first time visiting.
Very busy schedule, I know, but yeah, we somehow need to do that, because although many Turkish dancers travel abroad, many cannot either because of like visa issues and everything. So like we need to pack them with all the knowledge that we can give. So
But
that's actually,
you also have an amazing scene. Very many happy faces and really warm people. Really warm people. I mean, we had a very good welcome from your scene there. It was really nice. I don't know.
So okay, if people who are like listening to us, if you have like questions, it's our like last 5 minutes before Bilge starts pushing me to finish this interview, because after this she's got a solo jazz from A to Z series, like 9:10 Turkish time. So okay, one question to you, Vasya. Did Vasya think when she created the choreo in Athens Rhythm of 2019? What did Vasya think? Yes, I mean the women dance with the music, the boys from Harlem. Did she think about that contrast during creation?
no, I didn't choose the song because of the title. I think I
No.
just really loved the song.
Uh-huh.
uh, I don't know. Like, is the question about the choice of the song? But is that the question?
Sorry?
Is the question related to the choice
Yeah,
of
like
the song?
whether maybe did you do something according to the title of the
No,
song? But
no.
I remember not. No.
No. I no, I didn't. I don't know. It's funny. It's funny sometimes, like the to see how musicians decide to name their songs that have no lyrics. And like the answer is that they give, like, the name always has a meaning somehow to them, so somehow this song like was named Boys from Harlem. I didn't feel any voice while dancing the song, because for me it's a very feminine choreo. So no, I don't think I've managed to relate somehow the name with the choreo. I think it's just a very, like, I don't know, I'm saying female choreo because I had many female dancers that I admire when I made it. Yeah, and somehow it did look quite female because of all these feathers and pink. So yeah.
All right. So Avgoustinos, what was your favorite Turkish breakfast food? That comes from İlker.
So the questions about the Avgoustinos relate to the food, and not the dance.
I can't really discriminate food, Food is food and I love it. So yeah, I can't really take to choose something. I just love food, guys. I love food.
Turkish breakfast.
And Turkish breakfast was crazy. It was crazy. And it didn't help. It didn't help. Going for Turkish breakfast and then having to teach. No. No.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing.
Okay. Do you think, because I'm really, I wanted to ask this question, but like I have so many other questions that I want to ask, but it's the last 1 minute. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So do you have like an interesting moment that you have experienced in a class that you're teaching?
As teachers, interesting moment.
I don't know, like maybe we did. I think the only thing that I remember, like we mostly, we do travel sometimes abroad, like to teach abroad. Maybe more often this year, but like we teach almost every day at our studio. So like we're kind of used to having Greek students, or like, and what I mean by that is like our students talk, like you cannot make them stop talking in class. And I think it's the same in Turkey and maybe in mostly Mediterranean countries. So I remember I was like, I don't remember the country, but I think it's more like in the center of Europe. So I get in a class and like, like there was like no noise, nothing. People were like quiet, just waiting to listen. And for me, like I felt like, like I'm like, I don't know how to do that. People don't talk, it's very strange because for our students, like the goal is to make them shut up, but there the goal was to make people talk a little bit because everything was so quiet. So that was like a different experience for me. I remember that. Yeah, and it's the only moment that I thought, oh, maybe it's not that bad that they talk all the time. Yeah.
At least they're expressive.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think we need to be finishing right now. So thank you very much for joining us. Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ.
Ευχαριστούμε εμείς.
Ναι. Τα λέμε σύντομα. Ναι.
Hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, hope to see you soon.
So just I'm coming out with my jingle once again. Great. So guys, next week on the Bluntly series, we have Alice May, and it's 8 o'clock again next Friday. We have this is for the Turkish audience. On pazartesi günü Kaan, çarşamba günü Denizcan'la beraber olacağız. Yanlış söylemiyorsam, evet yanlış söylemiyor olmalıyım. Çok doğru söylüyorum. Herkese iyi akşamlar diliyorum. Bilge ile olacağız. 3 dakika sonra. Hepinizle görüşmek üzere. See you soon guys. So here is
Thank you so much. Ciao, ciao, guys.
once again.
Thank you.
All right. So let's go.
How was that? What is that? A gun?